All right, welcome back. This is our second vlog, podcast, whatever it is. And Don here, I'm Kevin, has a bunch of books that he has read. How many books this month?
17 this month. So far, I've still got another few days.
It's the end of the month, what, 26th?
Yeah, just after Christmas.
So he has a number of books he's ready to review. How many books do you have this time?
There are 4 of them that are worth a mention.
Okay, and what are they?
Defiance of the Fall, Mark of the Crijik, Azarinth Healer, and 8.
And they're all LitRPG or a mix of fantasy? And
They're all fantasy. Most of them are LitRPG. The Mark of the Crijik, it's a lot like Harry Potter. The feel is like Harry Potter. The story is nothing like Harry Potter.
Okay, so we will get into it. So, first book.
First book would be Defiance of the Fall by J.F. Brink. Story about Zachary Atwood is defying the fall of Earth.
Okay.
He's a young man that is camping in the forest with his friends. He goes out to gather wood. While he's out there, he gets into this little clearing, and all of a sudden everything goes dark, total silence. And then there's an announcement that comes up, and it says, "Initiating system. Welcome to the multiverse." Zach now is in a new reality, and in moments the Earth is merged with other planets to make it larger and have more energy in it. The purpose is to make people on Earth stronger. The effect is that 80% of the people on Earth will die within the first year. Zach is informed that he is standing in a place where Demon General was supposed to come to Earth. And because he's occupying that space, he has to roll to see who lives and who dies. So his chances of winning the roll are almost negligible, but he still wins somehow. He's out, he blacks out immediately because of all of the energy that is forced into him. He wakes up 3 days later, much stronger, much faster, blue screens in front of his face telling him all his normal stats and giving him quests. All over the planet there are these pillars through which armies come. The one closest to him is a demon pillar. And so Earth is sent screaming and kicking into a new era that they didn't want and didn't ask for.
It's going to kill most of them.
And it's going to kill most of them.
And he's stuck where he's at.
And he's stuck where he's at, and all of the people that he was with are gone. And there are monsters roaming. Cars don't work, phones don't work.
He's just left to figure it out.
He's left to figure it out himself. And unless he gets strong enough to kill off these demons, he's toast. He has no chance.
So what endears you to this book?
Oh, it's just really a well-written book. It's one of the best fantasy series that I've come across in a long time. It combines reality with fantasy in such a way that you feel like you're going right into it, and you feel it, and it works well. He does an excellent job in that. I look forward to every time one of his novels comes out. He has 11 books in this series now.
So is this one another never-ending series?
It could be. I don't know.
And are these big books, small books?
750 pages.
So pretty large.
They're fairly large. Well-told story.
Okay. And your recommendation on that was a what?
Excellent.
So
10.
10, excellent.
C for profanity, limited use of hard profanity.
Sex?
Sex, not really. You see some of it in the background, but it's never brought up in front and examined.
Okay.
Violent, high intensity.
Described in detail.
Described in detail as far as age group, teen and up.
Okay, so excellent.
Excellent. Read this one. It's one of my favorites.
All right, next book is
Mark of the Crijik. This is a excellent young adult fantasy.
Okay.
And it's by Think Twice.
Crijik. Is that a word I should know?
Crijik is one of the gods of this land.
Oh, okay.
There are 9 of them. And one of them is named Crijik, and at his first birthday, all children are laid on the altar hopefully receive some kind of magic in them. He gets laid on the altar, and
Who's he?
Andros Silver is the protagonist here. He's actually from another world. He is an older gentleman, 50 some odd years old, and he finds out later that he died on Earth and gets born to a new mother, and he's a 54-year-old man in the body of an infant that can't talk, can't walk, can't function. He has to learn all of that all over again. Because he's got this mark of the Crijik, he develops very rapidly. And at 3 months old, he's smart enough, he's smarter than most adults, and his dad's taking him to work. He's a toddler and he has to carry him, but he's taking him to work and teaching him scribing.
Okay.
Magic scribing. And so he's learning this at 3 months old. And by the time he's less than 3 years old, he's in the body of an adolescent going to an academy, a magic academy. And the people there the teachers there are real strong magic users. The families that come into it are noble families that are sending their children to this academy so that they can learn magic. Think Harry Potter. Magic, it's fun, it's enjoyable to read, it keeps taking off in different directions that you're not expecting, and you like the characters. You can fit into their lives and actually feel like you're a part of the story.
So if you liked Harry Potter, you'd probably really like this one.
If you like Harry Potter, you will probably like this one a lot also.
Okay.
I gave it a 9 rating. It's very good.
So it's a good book. Good, solid book.
Good, solid book. There's no profanity in it. There's no offensive sexual content. There are violent incidents in it, but very few people get killed in it. And it's for preteen and up. This is something you can read to your kids.
Okay.
I read up to book 5. There
Okay.
are 5 books in the series so far. The books are shorter, 450 pages.
And is it a series that feels like a Harry Potter where it will end at some point? He's advancing through school? Or
Very likely.
Okay. Awesome. Crijik.
Mark of the Crijik.
Mark of the Crijik. All right, next book.
Next book is Azarinth Healer by Rhaegar.
Okay. This is fantasy?
This is fantasy, LitRPG, your earning levels. Our protagonist is Elia Spears. She's a young woman that's just getting ready to start college. She's registering for college on Earth and goes to sleep one night, wakes up in a new world.
Okay.
In the middle of a forest, and immediately hears roaring in the background, and into the scene come a dragon chasing a monster. The dragon catches the monster and starts eating him, and then looks at her, and she runs. She comes across a temple just about the time a pack of wolves find her too. And so she runs into the temple to try and find a place that she can close off and save herself. She runs into a room and there's no outlet. And she backs up against this great big statue. And the wolves come at her and she fights. You got to realize she is a kickboxer.
Okay.
She's athletically endowed and she's a kickboxer and she likes fighting. And so she holds her own for the first couple of wolves, but one gets her by the arm and does a lot of damage. And then all of a sudden, there's a humming sound, and she finds herself in a different room. No wolves, just her. And the room is lit by glowing moss called blue moon moss. And she looks around the place and finds there's no way out, no exits to the place. As she's looking through this place, she finds a library. Most of the books are 1,000 or more years old and just fall to dust when she touches them. But there's one section that has been protected by some kind of magic, and she's able to pick out a few books, one of which is a journal by an acolyte of the Azarinth Healer Guild. And she finds out that she is in the testing chamber of the Azarinth Healers Guild. And people are put into here when they are a promising acolyte, And it's either figure a way out and get strong enough to get out, or you die in there.
Okay.
If you level up in the magic far enough, you find a way to get out. If you don't, your bones are there, and she found a few of those. And the journal that the people write are journals to help other acolytes figure out what these people had to go through. And then she finds out that the whole place is set up to train her to fight. And train her to fight with magic and with fists, feet, swords, whatever she wants to fight with. She kind of likes this. She's in her element now. She's a brawler, and she's learning how to fight, and she's thrilled about it.
What endears you to it?
She's a fun person to get to know. She's very friendly, talks to everyone, even people that hate her. She talks to the people that are trying to kill her and tries to make friends with them. And if they don't make friends, she runs away or she beats them up, whichever is necessary. It runs into all kinds of problems that she has to solve. And it's just a thrilling ride. It's just a really enjoyable book.
Okay. What'd you rate it?
I rated it 10. Excellent. Definite recommendation. This is one of the really good ones.
Okay.
It's profane. That's the problem. There are some caveats. It's profane.
Meaning
and it's violent.
Swears all the time.
Swears all the time. There's not any sex in it. But she swears all the time, and it is violent, violent, violent.
Okay. And how long are these books?
I would guess 750 pages. I didn't write it down.
Okay.
But they're a longer book, 700 pages.
How many?
There are 3 books in the series.
And that's end of series?
No, no, that's still getting going.
All these authors write a ton in their series these days, don't they?
Well, once you get a good series, you hate to have it end. Some authors die later on in their series. It's just not that interesting anymore. Anyway, not this one.
All right.
This one's great.
All right. The final book on our list.
Final book is 8 by Samir Rabadi.
And this is a fantasy? Did you already say that?
This is a fantasy. It's LitRPG also. They're gaining levels, they're gaining spells, they're learning magic, and they're learning to fight.
Okay.
And they're learning to fight with spears and magic and whatever else they want to fight with. In this case, 64-year-old man, he's lived his life, his wife has died, his kids are out of the home, and he comes out of the front office of his building and something drops on him and he's dead. And he finds himself,
unlucky chance there.
He finds himself in the body of an 8-year-old. And he's right close to a settlement, so he goes up to the settlement, and immediately the guards try to kill him, trying to chase him away like they're afraid of him, and they try to kill him, and he finally runs. He just runs away to get away from them, and he finds a lake, a waterfall with a place behind it that he can set up camp and be safe, he thinks, from all the monsters that are out roaming the woods. He's not safe. He keeps running into different monsters that keep injuring him. A spirit of the land, which you'll have to read the book to find out what that is, befriends him and helps him through the first few encounters where he gets injured.
Okay. She
heals him, but he always has to trade. The only way she'll do something for him is if he trades something to her.
Items or?
Items. He can catch fish, and she likes fish. Okay. He can cook, and she likes the food. He gets a magic knife, and he trades that in for something that he really wants, which is magic. He wants to have magic like she has, and she says, I can get you the chance to have magic. After that, it's all what you do. And so he trades for these things, and he gets magic. He finally gets to the point where he can go to this village that chased him away the first time, not be chased away. They're not afraid of him anymore. He can talk in the language that he's supposed to talk in, and he doesn't look like a ragamuffin anymore. And so they let him in, and he finds friends there. He learns the magic system. He finds that he's really pretty good at it. and he runs into all kinds of difficulties and people and monsters that are trying to kill him. But he finds ways around fighting them or finds ways to come out on top. It's a delightful story. I gave it a 9 rating.
Good book.
A good book, one that you will enjoy. There's no profanity in it. There's no offensive sexual content. There's violent incidents of high intensity in there, but it's not the violent, bloody incidents. They're fighting a war, mostly against monsters that are coming for the village. It's good for teens and up.
Okay. And what endears you to this series?
Just a novel way of going about it. He's 8 years old with the knowledge of a 64-year-old. And so he's a very wise little boy that others realize his wisdom and start deferring to him and asking him to help them.
Is this series, how many books in the series?
There's three books in the series, but there's more coming out.
Okay. And they're long, short?
They're short. They're 400-page books. Quick read. It doesn't take you long to get through one.
Okay. We reviewed 4 books.
Defiance of the Fall.
Okay.
Azarinth Healer, 8, and Mark of the Crijik.
Mark of the Crijik. And most of these are LitRPG fantasies.
Uh-huh.
One is just pure fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them would be good to read with your kids.
Yes.
One is profane, and the other was just a good book or excellent book. So
I think you'll enjoy reading some of these. Have at them.
All right. We'll put everything in the description below on how you can find these on Amazon and Goodreads. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy them.
Okay.